Hi everyone, this is Rachel with Rachel's Wig Reform. Today I want to talk about end of the day maintenance with our wigs, what we should be doing with them when we take them off nightly. Now, if you're anything like me, sometimes getting home and taking your wig off is as glorifying as getting your bra off or a bad pair of shoes. Let's just face it. That's the reality of wig wearing. Now, at the end of the day, with a pair of shoes that have hurt our feet, we kick them off and sometimes we don't even care where they land. And as far as the bra goes, we don't want to see that till tomorrow morning when it's time to put it back on. But with your wig, you should not be taking it off and just tossing it. So this is the end of my day. I have been out and about all day and I chose to wear a hat with my wig today. I live in Michigan and it's a little chilly out and it was extremely windy out also. So the hat kind of kept the hair from going crazy on me when I was out and about. So let's talk about when we get home and what we should be doing with our wigs. Now, depending on the length of the wig will determine what sort of maintenance you have to have for it. So when we are talking about a shorter wig like Gabrielle by Jon Renau, and this is in the color Martini, this wig is going to be less maintenance at the end of the day. So for the most part, I'm going to take this off at the end of the day. I'm going to shake it out and I'm going to put it onto my wig head. I like to put the little safety pins in there because it keeps the wig from sliding around and falling off. And then I am going to apply some product to this. So let's talk about product. One of the main things that I like to use, and I will have links for all of the wigs in this video and then all of the products used for this video in the description box below. So Fiber Love by Jon Renau. And if you ever notice in my videos, sometimes I say Jon Renau, Jon Renau. I like to change it up. I have no idea why. So bear with me on that. But this is a great product. Another great product is a wig synthetic leave-in spray. Again, all of the links will be in the description box. And then we also have Jon Renau Renew and Repair Glosser Spray. So with this shorter style wig, I would take it off, I would shake it, I'd put it on my mannequin. I like to kind of fluff it back up. And then I would just take some Jon Renau Fiber Love and I would just lightly mist it and kind of do this with it. And put it back into my shelving. Now, I use Jon Renau Fiber Love. I could just as have easily used this synthetic leave-in spray. So it's just kind of one or the other. A lot of times it's whichever one I grabbed. But for a short wig, the maintenance on it is just so much easier because it is short and it's not getting the friction in the nape area like a longer wig does. So she would be all set, easy peasy, and I'm putting her right back up onto here. So with this wig, this is Estetica Avalon in Silver Sun RT8. Again, this will all be listed in the link. These wigs are going to wear differently throughout the day. So I'm going to take the hat off. And what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab a wide tooth comb. This is just one that I picked up at some store. I don't know. I just liked it. It had a handle, wide tooth comb. You also sometimes get these in your wig boxes with wig purchases. Either one is fine. It's a wide tooth comb. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just start to lightly brush through my hair. And I don't know if you noticed, but I normally tend to grab like right here when I'm going through the bottom part because that is where our snarls tend to be. And I don't want to be like just pulling through that and pulling on all this hair. So I kind of like to hold it. So if there is a little tension there, I'm just kind of dealing with it. And I'm always starting from the bottom and then working my way up to the top. And I will give this a good brush before I take it off. And then I'm going to take this off just like I would if it was a short wig. I'm going to go ahead and throw my hat back on because, well, it's chilly outside. So now this longer wig here, this bottom part is where we run into a lot of issues. And I see a lot of people with comments, how do I get my nape area to not be so tangly? Well, even though I brush this with it on my head, I'm going to take it off and I'm going to continue to brush it. But the main part that I'm going to do this time is on the inside nape here. Because even though we brush it, it doesn't get into the inside here as well as when it does when we take the wig off. And I'm going to brush through all of this and make sure all of these snarls are out and get it ready to go on my mannequin head. Now, I'm just going to take some of the, let's go with this time, the leave-in spray. And I'm just going to lightly spray it on the outside. And I'm going to give it a little scrunch just to kind of work it in. But most importantly, where I want to get that is on this inside nape area. This is where we tend to get the most snarling and knots throughout the day. So I'm going to spray a little bit more in that area than I normally would. And I'm just going to kind of run my fingers through there, scrunch it a little bit. And if I think it needs a little bit more, I will give it a little bit more. I don't tend to put a whole lot of that product up at the top area with these longer wigs. Your problem is normally down here at the bottom. So get those smoothed all out. Then I put it back onto a styrofoam head. And I like to put a safety pin in each one of my wigs because I like it to stay on the styrofoam head. Sometimes where I'm storing them and I'm moving them around, I don't want the wigs to fall off. So I got that little thing in there. So now, one of the things about this wig is the bangs. I want it to pull away from my face. I don't like it when it's falling in my face. So as I'm storing this at the end of the day, I will take a couple of these clips that you can get at Sally's, Myers, Walmart, right in the beauty supply section. And I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it, I'm going to take the bang and I'm just going to kind of pull the bang over to the side a little. And you can see that the lace is lifted. Like I can run this underneath the lace. So I'm going to take that. I'm just going to kind of put it right onto there. And then I'm going to pull it down a little bit and pull it back in a way. And that is how I'm going to store this wig. So until I wear it again, which could be tomorrow, could be a couple days from now, this is how that is going to be. And that is going to be stored this way. And that starts to train those bangs to stay away from my face. Another little thing that you can do is you can take a little bit of hairspray. And this is a Brandywine spritz. I like this stuff. It's fast drying and it holds well. Again, there'll be a link for this. And I will just lightly hit that area. And now it kind of has a little bit of a product that's keeping that bang over there. And this is how I'm going to store this wig over into my shelving. Now I'm going to throw this wig back on real quick because I want to show you how to use the Renew and Repair spray. That product is a little different. It tends to be a little greasier, I guess, if you put too much on your wig. A lot goes a long way with the Renew and Repair. So again, I'm just going to put this on, spray it, or brush it, excuse me, with my wide tooth comb. So with the Renew and Repair, I use this all the time. I've had this for over a year, and this is literally how much I've only used. I like to take this and spray it into my hand. Okay, and then I'm gonna rub it together, and my hands are pretty, I don't know if it shows in the video, but you can see it. And then I'm gonna take it and I'm going to just kind of rub this into my ends. I'm not necessarily going to be spraying it directly onto the wig. And this just helps keep those ends of your wig from getting crunchy, snarly, and it just keeps your wig looking nicer, longer. I'm gonna repeat the same thing. And again, I'm just gonna kind of comb it through here, and I'm gonna go right into the back, and I'm going the back side right underneath the nape to right on top and smoothing that down. That nape area back here is where we really have to pay attention and just smooth that through. And then I would comb it again, just a little bit to get the product in there. Now with this Renew and Repair, because it's almost like a glosser to make your hair kind of shiny too. And you know how if you spray too much of that on your hair, it can make your hair look greasy. That can happen too. So I do still have a little bit of it in my hand, so I'm just kind of working it through. And so then I would just take this wig off and put it back onto the mannequin and store it. So the Renew and Repair glosser, also be careful when you're spraying it. I've sprayed it and it's gotten on like some of my like shirts that I might have just sitting off to the side waiting to put on. This is my bathroom in here. So it does leave kind of a greasier residue on things. So just be careful how you're spraying it. I also notice I can see spots of it when it's on my floor. That's why I like to keep it really close to my hands. And I use this probably every other time that I wear my wig, but every single time I take my wig off, I am spraying it with either the synthetic leave-in conditioner or the Jon Renau Fiber Love conditioning spray, and then putting it onto the wig or to the wig mannequin and storing it. So this is really important to making your wigs look good and keeping them in great shape so that they last longer for you. So that is just a little tip and trick here with maintaining your wigs and what to do with them at the end of the day. We have to treat them a little better than we do our shoes and bras. So that's my video on maintenance. If you have not yet subscribed to Rachel's Wig Reform, please do so. More videos will be following after this, and I hope you subscribe to my channel, and I hope all of these tips and tricks are helping you understand life of wearing a wig a little better. So we'll see you the next time.